Good morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m. I'd like to welcome everyone to the commission meeting of June the 2nd of 2020 of the Limestone County Commission. I call it to order and welcome everyone. Pam, do we have any public comment?
Yes, sir. Mr. Charles McDonald.
All right, Mr. McDonald, if you don't mind, step up here to the podium, please, sir.
How y'all doing? Good morning.
All right, how you doing, sir?
I just got a simple issue, and it's about the recycle center, and we get a lot of questions and hear a lot of questions about it being open, and I understand there's some issues with the way it's manned and what have you. But I'm just wondering, in the sake of doing the right thing about all the plastics and something, if there's some way that they couldn't be handled even if the recycle center is not open, because that's one of the main issues that you put into landfills that's not going to deteriorate. I mean, the cardboards, the papers, the metal cans and things like that, they will. But plastics become a major problem for a lot of different issues. And if y'all could address that and come up with some kind of resolution on that, it'd be really appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. I had talked to Ruby about that. We're trying to get it, and they work state inmates out there. And that's the issue they had on, and I was going to get with Chief on it about maybe if she couldn't get any, to maybe if we get something from the jail to go up there or something. I don't know. Can we do anything like that, Chief? I mean, just if we have any extra work release there, I don't know.
Have y'all got people going out on work release and stuff like that?
Yeah, they started back at the county, so. And I thought, I was going to get with Ruby today. That was one of the things on my agenda for today. We were off for a holiday yesterday. I was going to try to contact her to see if she would be interested in that. So.
I mean, if it just could handle the plastic, that would be a major. I mean, glass would be good and plastics, but those are the two things that are going to be in your landfill forever.
Well, they've not let up on cardboard, have they?
I'm sorry.
I think it's
They're still
recycling
pulling.
cardboard.
Yeah.
They never.
Last time I was down there, it said it was closed. You'd be prosecuted if you could put anything in there for us. So I haven't been by there in the last week or two, but I have called. There's just a message on my
Answer. Okay.
I'm going to get with Ruby today on it. Now, what's your phone number?
It's 256-874-0850.
I'll get back with you this afternoon sometime.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. All right, do we have any more public comment?
No, sir.
All right. Pam, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Samet.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
Here. Mr. McElmore, would you lead us in the pledge, please, sir? Want to lead us in the pledge?
Or McDonald.
McDonald, also McElmore. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to have McLemore on my mind. I wrote down McDonald. I don't want to put McLemore. Sorry about that, sir.
Well, at least he didn't call you Charles Moore.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet Charles Moore been bad, wasn't it? Yeah. All right, first on the agenda, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the May the 18th of 2020. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Samet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda, under approved claims, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $915,842.58. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion. Mr.
Motion by
Chairman.
Commissioner Samet. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Do we have any conflicts of interest with anything coming in front of the commission today? All right. Everybody is silent, so I'll take that as a no. Under resolutions in order, we added to amend the resolution to the Greenbrier Phase 4 agreement with the City of Huntsville. Do I have such a motion to approve this agreement?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Harrison. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under contracts, agreements, and grants, I'll ask for a motion to amend the guidelines for accepting credit cards as a form of payment. Do I have such a motion?
I make the motion.
A motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'm sure this will help. I mean, I know people that's came to pay and didn't have enough cash or a check with them. You know, they anticipated being able to use it. I guess this will apply to a debit card too, also, Pam?
This is for the License Commission office.
Oh, I thought this was for the pay for pipes and stuff.
No.
Mm.
This is only in his office.
Okay.
Only the license.
So we need to
So,
say,
can-
amend guidelines for the license commissioner.
License commission.
It's in the,
Yes, the packet.
It's in there.
Okay, so I didn't,
Yes, in the packet back
I
here.
didn't look at it.
Didn't look at it either.
Yeah, it's just for that,
Guilty.
it's just that payment method for them down there.
Okay, that because I didn't know. I thought, how are we gonna do it at the commission office? We'll have to have a machine, we'll have to have everything, so.
Have to get one of them shippers on their phone or
Got
something.
it.
That's
All
it.
right.
All right.
Any more discussion after we got that cleared up? No more discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Stamets?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on the contracts, agreements, and grants, I'll ask for a motion to approve the request for Dr. Robert Pittman to increase the animal service contract by $154,864 per year. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Commissioner Black. I keep calling you Turner today. Y'all sitting in front of me confusing me here. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion?
Well, I'm wanting to do this because I think it needs to be a discussion during the open meeting too, our regular commission meeting. He brought the figures to us. He explained what it was. He explained that on average at Decatur, Huntsville and Florence was $198. He was asking for $196 per animal. Whether it passes or doesn't pass, I think we need to do the audit as Commissioner Harrison was talking about. I think this is something we need to look into because this is, we're doing this for everybody in the community. We're doing this for everybody that has animals and those that don't have animals. He presented some pictures to us before the meeting where two young girls were attacked by dogs, and he has to hold the dogs, and it's a long, drawn-out process. I just want to make sure that we're protecting our people, and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we're following the state. So I made the motion to do this. Y'all can take it up however you want to, but I just thought we need to be able to at least have a discussion about it before we did anything. So that being said, that's all I've got.
And like I said, my part of the discussion was, you know, I just want to make sure it's the right thing to do. You know, I mean, I don't vote unless it's a tie. It's up to y'all guys, and if it's a tie, I'll voice my opinion in.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I'll just say, kind of reiterate it. You know, this is a mid-contract. He's in a 3-year contract where he gets an 8.5% increase per year. Since 2008, it has quadrupled the cost of where the animals has actually gone down. There's a question, you know, some statements he made in his presentation about not taking a salary. Well, it's not an official salary, but he's getting remunerated through the spay and neuters. And it's the biggest item on the profit and loss. He's saying that he's losing $25,000 per month. And he didn't seem to know where it was coming from, and believe me, I have a hard time believing that a person is losing $25,000 a month and doesn't know where it's coming from. I mean, but the bottom line is we have a contract. And if we do the audit, which we shouldn't do anything before we do the audit, okay? If we do the audit and the costs are that real, okay, then we need to look at ways of reducing that cost and making a decision here pretty quick of whether or not we need to go in and build a facility and hire a guy from Auburn, pay him $80,000 and have him run it. And you know, there are other options here, but this will be, if we do this, this will have, it's 5 multiple times of what we have been paying, and with a lower animal count. I mean, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, you know, we're under contract. We are obligated to him for the amount that it's 30,000. It'll be at 30,000 a month. Next year. It's like 28,000 this year, something like that. So 33,000. Yeah, and it's 28,000 this year, and he's asking an additional 12,000. For one thing, it's not in the budget, and that ought to be the end of discussion. But and I don't know what caused the increase in just the 18-month span of time between when he negotiated that 3-year 8%, which is the first time we've ever done that before. Okay, and now, I mean, it's, if this continues, we need to start looking at now how we need to proceed and how we can lower our cost. And there are ways. Okay, if you look at all the other counties that every county is required to do that. There are other ways to manage this cost that we're not doing now.
And my concerns, I'll tell you this, add to it, he's the only game in town right now. I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning and be standing over a barrel that, we don't have some type of option. So that's
And it's good that we're addressing it now, because we got 16 months to act, okay? We're not over a barrel, where when we get notified of something on Wednesday and we got to just make a decision on Monday, there's no way we can address the issue.
Yeah, his
Now
contract goes for 16 more months.
Yeah, 16 more months. So we've got time now. We ought to avail ourselves of that time and flesh this out. But to take action today on this big of an increase with this information, I think would be a mistake.
Well, he gave us options, at least one, on how to lower the cost, and that was to revert back to raising that euthanasia rate.
But he also said that would be when the money ran out. It would give us another week or two to think about it anyways.
Well, I heard him say that would be, he would
He
put
said when the money
that
ran
to,
out, that's
as a
what he would have to
commission
do.
directive, was to start euthanizing more animals. So
He stated
I'm
in
not going to
his-
sit up here and vote to say euthanize more animals
Okay.
throw them in the dump.
or throw them in the dump.
But you will make a decision set up here to say to throw more money at the problem.
Well, I mean, if it's costing him money, I don't know. I hadn't seen his books. So he tells me it's costing him money. I don't have no reason not to believe him.
We do have a fiduciary responsibility to ensure that that is the case.
Yeah. Well, I've been out there, seen the operation more than twice, and I understand what all goes into it. I understand those animals that are there over 7 days can't eat the concrete. They can't eat the barbed wire, the chain link fence they're behind.
But that's
they
not
got to
where
be
his cost
taken
is.
care of. Well, that all adds to the cost. There's water bills. There's bills to pay people that help clean up after. It's not like volunteers are lined up out there waiting to go in and do that work for free.
You said you hadn't looked at his books.
Right.
That's where the answers come from.
Right, I hadn't. But I ain't blind either. I understand there's a cost added in.
He came to us in March, I think it was.
Yeah.
Presented us with a large folder of stuff that had all that information, all that on it. Have you gone out and audited since March that we got that, or checked?
Takes
anything?
commission, he didn't come. I didn't think you were going to put it on the agenda. If you were going to put it on the agenda, absolutely.
Well, do we have any more discussion with it? Well, like I said, we'll move on for the vote, and if it comes down to a tie, I'll give my preference then. All right, no more discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
No.
All right, motion carries 3-1. All right, moving on. We have no emergency purchases, no board appointments, an award of bids here. We'll award a bid with Ergon Asphalt and Emulsions Incorporated for scrub seal with a price of $1.99, which all prices listed here on the packet. I'm not going to go through all that. Do we have any motion for this?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black, and a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Simon. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under personnel action, I'll ask for a motion to approve to hire Susan Hudson as an office assistant for the council agent. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on the agenda, I'll ask for a motion to approve to hire Joshua Gentry as a deputy pending a drug screening. Do I have such a motion?
I make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries unanimously. Third, I'll ask for a motion to transfer Justin Brown and Bill Boland from engineering to District 2. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under merit increases, we have one merit increase listed below today. Does I have a motion to proceed with a merit increase?
I make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. At this point, I turn it over to the engineer, Mr. Mark.
Yes, based on conversations in the work session, I have one subdivision for your consideration today. Walker's Enchanted Forest replat of lots 64 and 65. It would be combining to one lot, so it's minor, preliminary, and final. It's in District 1 at the address of 23314 Christie Drive. That's all I have for your consideration.
All righty. Do I have a motion to approve the subdivision as presented by Mr. Massey?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Harrison. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Motion carries unanimously. All right, under other business, I'll ask for a motion to approve the sale from District 4, one John Deere 7220 with a bushwhacker, with serial number listed below. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Harrison. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'll ask for a motion to approve to enter into a public hearing to approve to open a public hearing to receive comments relative to potentially action to consider a potential to change the name of a portion of Red Hill Hollow Road to Abigail Lane. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make
Got
the
my
motion.
tongue all tied up there.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Harrison. Any discussion? I guess no discussion. We'll call for a
Have a
vote.
second.
Second. Have a second. Have a second.
I'll second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black.
Know what I'm seconding, but I think I'm gonna second it.
Well, we seconded all, change Abigail, change Red Hill Hollow,
There you
Portion
go.
Road to Abigail Lane.
That'll work. We're all
My
over.
mind's all bumfuzzled right at the
All
moment.
right, we got it.
This is,
Uh,
this is a
Open a
requirement.
public hearing.
Yeah.
Is this your? is
Yeah.
this-
Yeah, we gotta call for the vote now.
The
Open up
discussion.
in the public hearing.
I'll just make
Go
a comment.
discussion. Okay, discussion.
That, this is requirement by 911. You've got a road here, and then you got an intersection, and you got this intersecting road named the same as the main road, and you can't have that in the 911 system.
Any
Is that
more
correct,
discussion?
Mark?
I was gonna let
Yeah,
Mark.
I was gonna discuss that in the
Yeah, Mark was
public
gonna let,
hearing,
public,
Oh,
Mark
okay.
was gonna handle the public hearing there.
Okay.
You got ahead of herself there.
Public hearing?
We weren't supposed to discuss that until we got voted on and got entered into here, but we entered
Okay.
it. All right, call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
For
Aye.
the record, I messed all that up from the get-go, so that's fine. I'm all right with that. I'm a little bit perturbed at the moment, but it'll be all right. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, as far as the public hearing goes, I don't know if anybody's here for that, but as far as the public hearing goes, yes, there's an intersecting road, at Red Hill Hollow Road, and it's kind of a Y that kind of splits the property, but, up to this point, there hasn't been anybody,
Built.
needs an address on that little stub road. And now there's a new home being built and they need an address, so we can't, that 911 can't address that as Red Hill Hollow Road because of the way it is, so, so it has been requested that that section of Stub Road be renamed Abigail Lane, if, I mean, if there's, based on the outcome of this public hearing, I can present a resolution to do that at the next commission meeting.
And for the one thing here on that too, I went over and my wife runs the mail route over there where that's at. And they had to put their mailbox actually out on the other portion of Red Hill Road for right now. And the house actually faces the other part until they could get this changed because of the 911 laws. They had to give them an address off of the, straight down the hill part there, so, because that's the way the road runs, so. Any more discussion? Anybody here to talk about it? All right. So I guess that's all of the public hearing part of it there. We'll move on to the report of officers. Commissioner Samet.
I don't have anything, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Samet. Commissioner Turner.
I don't have anything.
Thank you, Commissioner Turner. Commissioner Black.
Yeah, I do. I'd like to thank my employees. I had back surgery, and for about 2 months before I had the surgery, I was in and out of the office. I was in miserable pain. My guys have picked everything up that was laid down, and they've done a fantastic job in my absence. Today's really my first day back for a very, very long time. And I feel great. I appreciate all the prayers, all the cards, all the contacts and phone calls and all that, because it's you have to go through something like this. It is not fun, and it's really, really good when you got friends that will pick up the pieces when they start falling apart, and they fall apart really, really quick. So thank you very much.
Commissioner Harrison.
We're hopefully after finishing some turn lanes over in District 2, the paving crew is going to come out and start on Grace Hill Lane. That's what, not, oh,
I'm sorry.
You've made a
We
change.
got chip seal for, getting ready for Rebuild Alabama.
okay,
We have those chip seal projects.
Okay,
I can fill you in on that a little bit later. I'm sorry. I didn't
Okay.
think we were gonna be discussing
well,
that.
Terry Bob, I talked to him this morning, that's where I got
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he was a little confused.
Okay, all right. So anyway, we'll eventually get to Grace Hill Lane at one time.
Everybody had a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's probably a 4-day weekend, wasn't it? It was a 4-day weekend. That makes it even worse. Okay, and speaking, and also Easter Ferry, we've done the clipping the shoulders and gotten that prep work done for whenever the schedule allowed us to start work on Easter Ferry. Also, we use the same inmates from the same source that the recycling uses the same ones that we do, and we've been unable to get those. And I've checked. It's probably going to have to wait till the governor has her proclamation when she finally opens everything up, which I hope is tomorrow, but it's probably not going to happen. But in lieu of that, we're going to try to get some inmates for our litter crew, if you've got some that you can spare, because the litter is really building up in the districts. I don't know, in my district anyway, and we need to get out there and be able to. And so what I would ask the public to do, if they would pick up the litter around their property and on the right of way. I know it's, and here it is. This is something. The litter is a personal responsibility problem that we have, that people are either throwing it out. I mean, there's some that comes from the garbage process, picking it up and stuff, but then you have the people that throw it out. And we got dumped. I got notified this weekend of somebody dumped some more on Buzzard Roost. So there's a personal responsibility issue that we have, and it's kind of the same thing in terms of the pets and the cats and the dogs that proliferate. I mean, that can get out of hand really quick. And but here again, it goes from individual responsibilities, and we're not holding. Nobody really wants to go to constituents and say you need to be more responsible. You need to take care of your animals, and you need to get them spayed and neutered, and that's your responsibility. And that's part of this whole issue. But I would, in terms of litter, I would ask if the public could just help us a little bit. Because it's going to be a long time before we can work through all the routes to pick up all the litter, and every little bit helps. Many hands make light work. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Yes, sir, go ahead.
On the recycling, they advertise all the time that it creates jobs, and that's like a money-making operation. And I'm sure that it's not a big money-making operation. But that was my thought, probably part of the process wouldn't require inmates, that it could be done in partial in order to just facilitate keeping the main things out of the landfill.
We do have some full-time employees out there. There are employees out there. They,
You know, Decatur advertises it quite often, that it's creates jobs, recycle, encouraging people.
It's basically a cost avoidance. I mean, they do, like you say, they make more money on the cardboard, but that fluctuates wildly. The plastics, probably not, and the glass don't. I mean, we're doing good. They receive appropriations from the county and the city, and if they didn't have that, it would not stand on its own.
I see a lot of aluminum cans, and I know that they.
Yeah, you get aluminum. Yeah.
can Processors.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. I'm going to do something out of the ordinary today. I normally don't voice my opinion on much, but I'm going to. I don't get to vote unless it's a tie. And on this dog pound issue, I'm not saying that Dr. Pittman did not need more situations, but the problem I have right now with us voting on it today is that we're already $31,000 a month less this month than we were this time last year on our gas tax. Our revenues are down, and like I'm being said, you got to have a revenue stream for this. Where we're going to get the money? That's the big issue. I mean, somebody's going to lose out somewhere. It's just like when you sell a dump truck and it don't bring as much money. Somebody's got to come up with that money somewhere. So somewhere down the road, we've got to cut somebody's budget this year, some form or fashion probably, to cover this. So that was just a thing that I want to put out there. And if I would have had a chance to vote on it, I'm not saying I would not be for it, but I had done all my homework, and I have been to shelters. I've been touring. I mean, here's my packet. I've been all over. I've got numbers here, and like I said, it's we got 16 months left on this contract. I mean, I'm going to research it hard, and maybe the 16 months we can get it down to where we can afford it again. And that's all I got to say today. Thank everybody for attending. We will recess until 9 a.m. on June the 15th of 2020 at the Clinton Street Courthouse Annex, 100 South Clinton Street, Athens, Alabama.